Now, the Lionesses are through to this Sunday's Euros final at Wembley, facing off against Germany after a stellar semi-final performance against Sweden on Tuesday night. But the spotlight has shifted focus from their success on the pitch to their team name. A radio host asked a former Lioness if the name should change.
Do you like the term Lionesses? Why not Lions? Why do we have to call them Lionesses?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it's kind of one of those things that we genderify everything, don't we? So it's just become, but to be fair, it's been a great branding tool for the national team and a way for fans to relate and connect with this group of players.
Some fans were furious at the suggestion it's a sexist name. Actress Dame Maureen Lipman was one of those trashing the idea, saying it's absurd to rebrand the women's team as Lions, while others pointed out that the Lionesses in nature actually work harder than lions. To our own Lioness, Mrs. Osborne. Or do you think of yourself as a lion or a lioness?
Oh, Lord, no. No. I'm furious too. I get so frustrated when I keep hearing these stories over and over again. You have a group of women that have worked so hard to get respect in this sport that was, we all know, you know, a men's sport for so long. They have fought so hard. They are so brilliant. Their technique, everything about them is so brilliant. And, you know, some of these women are mothers. Some aren't. Some are married. Some aren't. They're women.
Yeah.
Leave them as lionesses. What is this lion? Everything has to change. Why does it all have to change? And why bring sex into this?
I think it's interesting that they are called the Lionesses, because I think that was actually a kickback to the fact that before that they were just called the Women's England Football Team, and they've actually branded themselves with their own brand and nickname as the Lionesses, and I think that's an extremely feminist move to go, do you know what, we just don't want to be the Women's England team anymore. We want to be the Lionesses. It's given them an incredible brand. It leaves a legacy. And yeah, the Lions is the name of the male rugby team anyway.
Right. Although it sounds like a pub down the road.
But don't you think the whole thing comes from a kind of fundamental misunderstanding of, most particularly sort of vocabulary and how it evolves? So I think some people assume that the real thing, the better thing, is to be an actor. And if you're an actress, it's a kind of little diminutive of actor. They assume that actress means a kind of lesser, kind of more fragile, dainty, less accomplished actor. It doesn't at all mean that. It's the feminine of actor. Yeah. It means a female actor. It doesn't mean you're less good, less talented, you know, less adept, less accomplished. It's not in any way
but we've seen it everywhere.
or diminutive.
It's not just here. It's on everything.
And so therefore, a lioness is a female lion. That's all. It doesn't mean less of a lion or not as good as a lion or a kind of feeble female version of a lion.
And they are known to be so protective.
Exactly, and stronger than a lion, definitely. And also we've seen it across the board, haven't we? Chairman became chairperson. You couldn't have a chairwoman. Now I think a chairwoman is formidable to have a chairwoman, but obviously it's now chair. Police officer instead of policewoman or policeman. So we're seeing language evolve the whole time, aren't we? I'm not sure it's necessary.
But I don't know if it really is evolving or if it's being imposed on people by other people.
Well, that's exactly what it is.
I think the reason for chairperson was because it was the assumption that a chairman must be a man. So people didn't like that because they thought, why on earth should you assume that? That was why that happened. Some of them make more sense than others, but to say that the Lionesses should be called lions is just inaccurate, ridiculous.
As you were saying about them taking this name Lionesses and making it their own thing, no real football fans call the England football team, the men's team, the Lions. Like, we say 3 lions on a shirt, blah, blah, but we just call them the England football team. That's it. They're not, we don't really go by their nickname. The only country, like France, generally people do call them Les Bleus, and the women's team are also called Les Bleus because they play in blue. But if the French team were called the Cockerels, we wouldn't call the women's team the Cockerels. Anatomically, it just wouldn't make sense. Then you've got the Aussies, who are the Matildas, and the men's ones are the Socceroos. This is just how it is. I don't see what the big deal is about it. I think it's just, they should just leave it.
And also, don't cross Maureen Lipman, that's what I say. Do that at your peril, quite frankly. Never a good idea. Not recommended.